As Emperor Ming drew his final breath, he named Kashuan region for the child upon the throne. But ambition burned like wildfire in the regent's chest. He plotted in the shadows, scheming for a crown of his own. Strip the boy of power, let Sima Yi rise instead. Make him prime minister, take his armies from his hand. Kashuan smiled in darkness, thinking he had played the game. One move and the tiger's claws would never strike again. But the old general saw the trap, the noose around his neck. Too weak to fight in open field, he chose a darker deck. Feign the illness, play the fool, let the spider spin his web. Drool the medicine, slur the words till the enemy drops his guard. Haggard ghost in a sick bed, lost in provinces and haze, while the tiger waits in silence for the perfect hunting day. One spring morning when the region leaves the city walls, the mask falls off, the rebellion calls. Cao Shuang sent his spy to check the rumors in the night. Is the great Sima Yi truly broken, robbed of all his might? The report came back laughing, an old man frail and gray, a maid to hold his shaking hands to feed him every day. Confused Jin with Bing province, medicine down his chin, staring blank into the void where once the fire had been. No trace of past glory, no grace left in his eyes. Cao Shuang threw back his head and roared with triumphant cries. Feign the illness, play the fool, let the spider spin his web. In a sick bed, lost in provinces and haze, while the tiger waits in silence for the perfect hunting day. One spring morning when the region leaves the city walls, the mask falls off, the rebellion calls. The rebellion calls. Ancestor worship called him out, the capital left thin. Sima Yi rose from the sickbed, lightning in his grin. He sees the gates expose the crimes, treason on their name. Cao Shuang and all his clan, captured, shamed, and slain. Power turned to waste, true hand through cunning, not the sword. The fox who played the dying dog became the kingdom's lord. Feign the illness, play the fool, let them laugh while you prepare the final rule. From the sickbed to the throne, through patience sharp as steel, Sima Yi claimed the game, the rest was just a meal. 3 kingdoms watched and whispered of the man who fooled them all. The tiger never truly sleeps, he only waits to maul.
Politics, the strategic vagueness of modern leadership. In today's political landscape, leaders often employ strategic unpredictability to prevent their opponents from developing a strong counter-strategy. This idea is particularly evident in contemporary political negotiations. Studies indicate that while behaving in a seemingly crazy or entirely unpredictable manner may negatively impact a leader's domestic approval ratings, it can provide a significant advantage in international discussions, as foreign adversaries may genuinely fear that the leader could be reckless enough to take drastic action. A great illustration is how contemporary political leaders engage in unpredictable communication, making one statement on social media while enacting something different in their policies to keep their rivals disoriented. As the opposition is perpetually trying to respond to the wild, public remarks, the leader maintains their composure behind the scenes, implementing specific policies while the media concentrates on the public spectacle. Even discussions around global central banking have considered moving away from full transparency towards a madman strategy of deliberate ambiguity, understanding that leaving markets in a state of uncertainty can sometimes manage economic turmoil more effectively than being entirely predictable. War conflicts, nuclear brinkmanship, and tactical volatility. In military conflicts, pretending to be insane is a traditional method of deterrence. By convincing an opponent that you disregard typical cost-benefit reasoning, you compel them to retreat. This tactic has significantly shaped the geopolitical scene concerning the current war in Ukraine and the wider security issues in Europe. In their analysis of the conflict, researchers observe that the Russian leadership significantly depends on the madman theory, combining conventional military operations with unpredictable threats that include tactical nuclear weapons, Kaniinen, 2024. by instilling fear in the West and NATO that their leadership could be unstable enough to initiate a nuclear disaster, Russia compels its opponents to adopt a very cautious and defensive stance. Yet beneath this facade of nuclear madness, the Kremlin maintains its composure, engaging in a meticulously calculated war of attrition on the battlefield, relying on the notion that the West's apprehension of a madman will deter any full-scale direct intervention. Conceal yourself behind the guise of a fool, a drunkard, or a madman to sow confusion regarding your true intentions and motivations. Entice your opponent into underestimating your capabilities until he becomes overconfident and lets his guard down. At that moment, you can strike. In today's landscape of information warfare, deepfakes, and automated disinformation, it involves concealing your genuine analytical skills, intentions, or knowledge by presenting a facade of passivity, being overwhelmed, or appearing chaotic externally, all while upholding a flawless internal structure, objective monitoring, and a defensive stance. Algorithmic workflow, the loop. Step 1. Ingestion and honey routing. Data assets are introduced into the system. Following the Feign madness principle, the public interfaces of the system accept inputs seamlessly, returning standard replies or misleading processing signals to the sender. Meanwhile, the asset is discreetly contained within the system. Step 2. Parallel forensic triage. The standalone asset is processed using various multimodal deepfake detection tools and SLMs. The SLM examines the semantic framework and logical progression of the text, searching for rhetorical manipulation techniques, while forensic engines investigate the media for pixel or sound irregularities. Step 3. Graph integration and verification. The identified entities are compared with the main knowledge graph. The OSINT module investigates the structural origins, where this video initially surfaced online, who distributed it, and what infrastructure supported it. Step 4. XAI evaluation and balanced decision. The system integrates the forensic score, the graph consistency index, and the OSINT verification status. The explainable AI module consolidates these elements into a comprehensive risk profile. If the asset is identified as a deepfake or disinformation, the internal network enhances its defenses to completely block it, keeping balance, while the external interfaces maintain a calm, unaffected demeanor to prevent raising any alarms for the adversary. Here is how our algorithm loop would handle this exact scenario in real time. Step 1. Ingestion and honey routing. The scammers initiate their scheme by linking a live, AI-generated deepfake video, along with a cloned voice stream of the DNB Bank CEO and CFO into an ongoing Microsoft Teams video call with the Singapore office. Rather than immediately blocking the connection and alerting the hackers that they've been detected, your system activates Feign madness. This system smoothly accepts the incoming video and audio feeds. It sends out standard network handshakes and stable video processing signals back to the attackers, leading them to believe that the call is proceeding flawlessly. Meanwhile, the entire data stream is securely contained and sandboxed for isolation. Step 2. Parallel forensic triage. While the call is ongoing, the isolated video and audio components are promptly processed by your multimodal deepfake detection tools. The forensic engines examine the video frames, identifying tiny pixel anomalies, unnatural eye movements, or lighting inconsistencies on the CEO's face. At the same time, the audio detectors pick up on subtle synthetic artifacts in the replicated voice. Concurrently, the small language model, SLM, evaluates the real-time transcript of what the impersonated CEO is saying. The SLM identifies high-pressure rhetorical manipulation techniques, particularly highlighting the urgent and unusual request to immediately transfer millions of Singapore dollars. Step 3. Graph integration and verification. The system retrieves the identities identified during the call, the CEO and CFO, and checks them against the bank's internal knowledge graph. This graph uncovers a significant logical inconsistency. The actual CEO and CFO are assigned to entirely different internal responsibilities and lack any official pre-approved financial workflows that correspond to this unexpected request. At the same time, the OSINT module investigates the structural origins of the network connection. It finds that the video feed is not originating from the executive team's secure corporate devices, but is instead being routed through dubious, external proxy servers and unverified infrastructure. Step 4. XAI evaluation and balanced decision. The explainable AI module collects the high forensic deepfake score, the significant conflict in the knowledge graph, and the concerning OSINT infrastructure data. It consolidates these elements into a clear risk profile, indicating a high likelihood of a CEO fraud attack. To maintain balance, the internal banking network promptly freezes all actual fund transfer capabilities for those particular accounts, making it impossible for the scammers to access the funds. Meanwhile, the team's call interface remains entirely calm, smooth, and cooperative. The system permits the deepfake figures to continue speaking without generating an error message or causing an abrupt disconnection, leaving the adversaries completely oblivious that their multi-million-dollar heist has been entirely thwarted. Conceal your true motives by acting differently, perhaps by being approachable, humorous, or simply the last person your rival would anticipate an attack from. Pretend that you don't grasp anything, as if the suggestions are too complex for you to make an informed choice, yet take excellent advice and use your true intelligence to succeed.